G'day and thanks for joining us. This is the Squash Brackets podcast. I'm Jeff Osborne.
And I'm Cameron Pilley.
And I'm John White.
Fellas, thanks for joining me today. I'm super excited. What's been going on?
Not much at all. Just enjoying the summer. A little bit of time off with the kids and the 6 dogs at home. Playing a little bit of golf. And then the season kicks off in about 3 weeks when everyone moves in. And then college squash season is raring to go. Looking forward to it, actually.
Nice, I like it. Pilley?
I've been about the same minus the 6 dogs.
Just 2 kids to look after.
No.
Hey, send us your address, Pilley. Send me your address, Pilley. I'll ship one off for you.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll text that after the show.
Nice. Well, boys, before we kick in, I wanted to give you a little brief explanation of what this is all about and what we're trying to do here, because a couple of years ago, I was mucking around on the old Bet365 app here in Australia, trying to lay some bets down on a couple of the PSA matches.
What are you talking about there, Jeff? This was supposed to be a bit of a banter call, and now it's like we got the squash brackets thingamajig going on.
Well, mate, that's what I'm trying to get over there is, look, I was trying to put some bets on, and it's just a really shitty experience trying to chuck a bet on because the odds are really bad because none of the odds makers know anything about squash really. And I just really struggled, and I was hanging out with you, Whitey, at that doubles tournament we played, and you know there was a bit of March Madness, you know, going around with the NCAA tournament. And I just loved how you could fill out the whole bracket and figure that out. So I got a guy here who plays squash, and he's a web developer, and we put together the app so that you can go into these PSA events and actually pick who you think's going to win all the events right through to the final and win some prizes. So let me show you guys what I've been working on because I think it's pretty cool, and I'd love to show you guys what it is. So basically, the old squash brackets is you go in the tournaments. We're only going to do it for the big tournaments of the year. So the stuff that's on Squash TV, we tried it with a couple of the smaller tournaments, but the draws kept changing. Things didn't update quick enough. So we're doing the first one next week with the London Classic. You can see on screen there. And what we're going to do for the first ones is there's no entry fee. You can just enter by making your picks. We're going to give away $100 to the winner, whoever picks the most correct event. You get 100 points for picking the right event, the right winner of the match, and 10 points if you get the game score right too. So 3-1, 3-2, whatever. But the ideal way we're going to do it, and Whitey, you and I had a good conversation about this the other day, is, you know, if we can get everyone chucking in a $10 entry fee, then we create a massive pot. We get 1,000 people in there. There's 10 grand in the pot. Someone's walking home with some serious cash there and having a great time getting involved in squash, which I'm all excited about, eh?
Love it, mate. Sounds awesome. Love it.
Yeah. Something squash needs, buddy.
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be fun, and it's a good way to get people engaged. But before we kind of kick into that, I wanted to quickly intro you boys because, you know, you've been around the traps, and we don't know how long it's been since either of you have been involved in something. So we've got a couple of record holders here. We've got 2 fellas here. You like those photos, boys? We've got 2 fellas
Love
here.
Love myself some watermelon.
Who held the record for the hardest hit squash ball, currently held by Pilley. I think we should line you 2 boys up at the either end of a court, try and hit each other and put it on the clock. But we'll save that for another day.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
But I found out this week, Cameron's in the top 10 squash players for the longest stint inside the top 50. I saw that this week, Pilley. How was that to come across, mate?
Yeah, like a couple of guys sent it to me, and I was pretty shocked. I knew I was, you know, did a decent amount in the top 50. Yeah, I guess it was a pleasant surprise seeing my name there, but you know, in amongst all those names, I'm like,
well done, mate. Well done. Top 50.
It speaks to longevity. It was pretty cool. Whitey's other record that he held for a little while is he held the shortest stint at world number 1 of 2 months, which is exactly 2 months longer than Cameron Pilley spent at number 1, and exactly 2 months longer. And 2 months longer than I spent inside the top 100. So fuck, Whitey, I don't know, mate. You did pretty well.
No, mate. I got fucking bored after a couple of months. So, you know, I just wanted to give it to somebody else. You know, I'm a sharer. So,
yeah, but you're just a nice guy, Whitey. Just a nice guy.
Sharing's caring. But Whitey, I did have a bit of a look, and you started that year ranked like 8th, so you must have had a bit of a tear to the start of the season to jump from there up to number 1.
Yeah, it was a good stint actually that year. I went and won the English Open, and when I was at the Crucible, and then won the Qatar or the PSA Masters in Qatar, and then was runner up in the Qatar Classic, and then obviously all those points. Obviously it helps when you're beating those guys that are in front of you, knowing that they got to the final or the semi-finals the year before, so they've got those points coming off, and I've got some serious points coming on, and then leading up to the TOC, I knew what I needed to do to get to, but knowing what you need to do and actually doing it on court is two different things. So
oh wait, so you knew before you stepped into that tournament where'd you need to get to get the number 1 spot?
It was I had to make the final.
Okay.
So,
jeez.
but I didn't work that out until I think it was after the second round going into, I think it was a quarters against who was it, James, or it was a Beach, and then so obviously then there's nerves coming on and here and there.
Yeah.
So knowing that I got to the final, playing Pete Nicol, and that was when I had that really, really massive dive from the back right to the front left, almost dived through the side left wall glass, and then that's when one of the organisers come up and said, well, even though you lost on the next rankings, you're off to world number 1. So I was
that's pretty cool.
Let's go.
That's pretty cool, man. Nice. Do you remember who you beat in the semi?
I can't remember. Maybe Power.
Whoa, okay. At the TOC, that's a big W, mate. That's a
TOC. Yeah,
huge win.
Yeah.
Huge win. Well, boys,
and if there's a venue where you get you got 1,000 people guaranteed always there, and just the crowd involvement, and just how long the TOC has been going on, and how John Nemec treats the players. That's one of the tournaments that's been introduced on the squash court as a new number 1. It's pretty cool.
That's massive. That's a massive event. That was the one event I got to play that was a Super Series event. Pilley, you had a couple of runs at that one too, didn't you?
A couple of runs, yeah. Whitey, I think I was there watching that actually when you had that run. What year was that?
2004.
Yeah, I got a feeling that was one of my first TOCs. I remember that huge dive you did, that diagonal dive. I was like, oh, geez,
yeah, that was in front. That was in the final. I think it was about 12 all in the third or something. I hit a shitty drive, so I actually clung to the forehand side wall, back of the service box, and then Pete actually ended up playing a boast, and so I took a couple of little steps, and then literally from the right side of the tee, dived and picked up the ball, and actually hit a really good backhand drive for once.
Yeah.
while I was horizontal on the floor, or on top of the floor, and then ended up in a let call. But I was sore the next day. Don't worry about that.
I bet. Couple of backhaul nicks there. Well, boys, just to give everyone a little update, Whitey, you're running the Drexel squash program in Philly there at the National Squash Center, where they have the US Open every year at the moment. How's things going there? You said the season's about to get kicking.
Yeah, it's all set. We got the all the freshmen, guys and girls, coming in the 13th, 14th of September. That's their move-in week. This is going to be my 15th season coaching the Drexel teams from starting off 15 years ago from scratch. Start the program from pretty much next to nothing. No budget, no courts. We had to renovate the 6 old hardball singles that we had downstairs in the DAC to what we have now, the 5-court facility at the Client Inspector Squash Club, and then or Squash Center. And just been doing it every single year, and it's enjoyable, it's fun, and we've got the schedule going, so we're playing all the top teams like Harvard, Trinity, Princeton, all the Ivies. So it's every season is different, brings in the good and bad and the ups and downs, but it's enjoyable. So if it wasn't, I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, it's good, mate. And mate, you're not the only former PSA coach that's running a program now. Who else is involved that's running college programs?
Well, you've got Dave Palmer at Cornell, and then you've got obviously one of the best, one of the best coaches and nicest guys out there, Mike Way at Harvard. There's quite a few out there. You got Sean Wilkinson, who used to be a college coach and played, I think, for a little bit. He's at Princeton, so it's a gig that once you retire or you're looking for something to do. It's not looking for something to do, but it's it is a little bit tiring during the season because you're on the road a lot with the away matches, and especially when you're the coach of two teams. It's there's some coaches out there that've got just the men's team or the women's team, but and I've got the crazy old Aussie Luke Forster as my assistant. So that's fun and games each day, not knowing if he's going to. What he's going to say or what he's going to do, but no, but that's fun. That's the best thing about it is you put a team together that you love working with, but then you also put your coaching staff together that you enjoy working with, and know that if you're going to be away or they have the knowledge and what you expect from them, for college players.
Nice. Well, and you've been playing a few hardball doubles events. And Cameron, speaking of reaching world number one, what's the call? You got the SDA Pro Doubles Tour number one ranking lined up for this season ahead, mate. You're going to take that out? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, we'll try and give it a bit of a shake.
Who are you playing with? Mikey again?
So yeah, last season. So the first couple of seasons played with Ryan Cuskelly. So that went pretty well. We both got up to the top 10. I think we both made number 7. Then he ditched me and moved back to Australia. Cheers, Cusk. Then last season I teamed up with Mikey Ferreira, South African guy, lives in the city. Good player, double-handed backhand. So that's pretty unique. He's good to play with. So we're going to run it back again this season. Nice. And see if we can do some damage. Yeah,
nice. And so you're just north of New York City there at the Appowamas Club. How's what's going on there? What's life like at Appo?
It's good. It's a country club. You guys have been there. We've got 5 singles courts, 2 doubles, huge junior program, and it's going well. So I've been there 6 years now. The last 3-4 years as the head pro director of the program. So it's the club's awesome. They've got a nice little golf course too. I can sort of sneak out there every now and then and.
Lovely golf course. How is the golf game, Pill? What's going around these days?
You know what? I can hit it. Making sweet contact is not my problem. I just couldn't tell you which direction it's going to go in.
You hitting a fairway, you just don't know which one?
I think I started the season off maybe 16. I think I'm down to 13. I really want to get single figures by the end of the year. But with Whitey shooting in the 70s, I don't think I'm going to catch him by year's end.
Yeah, well, so I heard, Whitey, that when they get all the squashies together for the big golf event, a couple of the old legends and young and up and comers, you didn't play this year, but the year before you won that event. Is that right, Whitey?
Yeah, I took it out. Yeah, played okay, kept it straight. Sometimes long and wrong, like Pilley, but one of those things. I've got no worries about the connection. It's just a matter of I know where I should hit it. It's just a matter of which direction it comes off the club face. And I either make the hole very 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 short or a lot longer than it should be. Sometimes the par 7.
Zigzag.
Basically the 5th major. This event, Jeff, it's basically the 5th major, the Let Live Invitational. I mean, speaks for itself.
Nice. Well, boys, we can talk golf, but we're here for the squash because I reckon we've got what's shaping up to be one of the coolest seasons we've seen in a long time. A lot of ups and downs about to come our way. So I wanted to chat to you boys about the men's top 20. This is what's currently sitting there at the top 15. Before we go into any long shots there, I'll start with you, Whitey. Just looking at this top 15, who do you reckon is not there at the end of this season? Who's dropping out?
Damn, put me on the spot, mate.
I know, I like to.
Who's dropping out? It's it's going to be obviously out of the top 20. It's you got to have a look at Fairs Dasuki. It's like he's been there for a while. He's sort of up and down. I would have to say that I don't think he's going to be in the top 20.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much about it. Like you have a look at the guys that are there. You have you've got the top 4. They're not going anywhere. You've got Marwan, who's always going to be there. You got
Do you reckon? Do you
Karim,
reckon Marwan hangs in? Like he's not a spring chicken anymore. I mean, he's obviously
no,
one of the best
he's not a
strikers of the
spring.
ball.
No, he's not a spring chicken. I give him maybe a season. You have a look at the brothers, right? It's like how long they played for, what they put their bodies through.
Phenomenal.
Mo is this, like, you can't take anything away from either one of the brothers. It's like they know how to play the game, and when you get younger guys coming up, or the experience that they have in their back pocket, and just the grind that they know they have to do, and how they have to play to get through. I think they're going to be there. They're still going to be in the top 20. If they weren't going to think they're going to stay in the top 20, I don't think they'd stay around. I can't see them dropping out of the top 20 and continuing. It just, the level at the moment is it's going to be too tough. They could draw anyone in the top 8 first round, really, when you look at it, if you drop out. So, I'd love to see Mo there as long as possible, just because of who he is, what sort of champion he's been, and what he's given to the game. It's like, if he knows he can't even stay in the top 8, it's like Ali. You may just hang up the boots and call it a day.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at as well, right? We've got a few guys there that are getting on in age. The number 5, 6, and 7 there with Marwan, Karim, and Mo. Pill, you played those guys a fair bit. What do you reckon they still got a bit left in them?
I do. I mean, I can't see any of those 3 guys you just mentioned dropping out of the top 20. Like nowhere near. Like if they, they've had a good off season, the body's feeling good, the mind's feeling good. I mean, I can see them staying in the top 10, to be honest. But I think it's going to be a matter of, if they still, like what you mentioned, if they still want it and they're putting in the effort and they know what they've got to do to stay there, if they're going to do that, then I can't see them dropping maybe in and out of the top 10, but I can't see them dropping out for any long period of time out of the top 10. And I'd probably, there's a lot of young faces in there. There's some fresh faces. So I think, if
that's what I was going to ask. Who changes their Pill? Like who takes a step up? Obviously, young Zachariah's looking pretty bloody strong. But who do you reckon their Pilly is pushing to that top 5?
I think Ibrahim. I think he's going to be one that it sounds like he's had a pretty injury-free run over the off season. Say since May-ish, he's had a good run. He's probably put in a ton of work over the summer, so he's going to be raring to go. We've seen him beat anyone on his day, so I can see Ibrahim really giving that top 5 a shake if he gets his game in order on a consistent basis. Like we see him have these one-off events that are really good. You sort of want to see it event after event. Zachariah, I mean, he's taken me by surprise. Like I knew how good he was and how good he was going to be. I didn't see him. I mean, he's sitting at 14 at the moment. I didn't see him sitting at 14 come the start of this season now. Pretty
impressive that your ranking and your age is the same, right? Like, God.
Very impressive.
No, he's not 14. He's a bit older than that, but that's seriously impressive. You saw Yusuf Ibrahim play a bit when he was at Princeton, right, mate? Like, he looks like an absolute nightmare to play with, just the variety of shots and his holds and his flicks. What do you say to someone who's playing him? Like, God.
Hang on. Just hang in there.
Really?
When he was coming through Princeton, it's like just seeing him warm up. All the guys were in trouble at college. Nobody really could touch him. If he really wanted to play and take everyone apart very quickly, he could. But then again, if he got bored, he'd lose a game here or there. But that's just his style, his swing, the angles that he has. He's attacking. He's very, very quick. That is for sure. I think he's the next one, and definitely inside the top 8 and close to top 5. And then same as Ali Abu. Watching him play at Penn. He's got everything that's there. He's also quick. He's a lovely player. He's a very clean player. I think he's that could be a little bit of his downside. But I think he's another one to watch out. And same as Zakaria. It's amazing what he's done juniors and then coming into the seniors, and then he's at 14 in the world.
Yeah, Zach Zachary, I mean, the way he moves and plays, he reminds me of Ali Farag. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, he moves the ball around so effortlessly, and it's almost like he's just moving the ball around just to put the same as what Ali did.
Yeah.
Ali, sometimes he'd throw a boast and it's like 4 feet above the tin or a drop shot, only because he knows he's going to volley the next ball or put his opponent in the and he's a very good mover. He's graceful around the squash court, and he knows what he's doing. He knows exactly how he wants to play and what shot he wants to play, and it seems to come too natural for him.
And I just notice his counter. Like every now and then, someone will put in a great shot, and he'll come up and counter it with something that's out of this world incredible, right? Like just ridiculous. So look, that's going to be really interesting. And I want to talk to you guys about some guys that are outside the top 15 that are going to come in. But before we hit that, just real quick, I think, with the top 4 there, those 4 guys are all looking really, really strong. Can you go out on a limb here? I'll start with you, Pilley. Who do you think finishes this season at number 1? Because obviously Asal's looking just ridiculously strong. Like he's so bloody good. Diego's got the win-loss record over him, which is incredible. Paul's still hanging in there, and I think Joel's looking as strong as ever. Who you calling world number 1 end of the season, Pill?
I mean, if I've got to put $1 on it, I'm gonna put that $1 on Asal. I think he's kind of established himself there at number 1 at the moment, and of all those guys there, I can't see, barring maybe 1 or 2 players like Gawad or someone, I can't see him losing to anyone outside that top 4 on any sort of regular basis. Like, he might drop the odd match to one of those guys, but over the course of the whole season, I can see him just finishing as strong as he did last season and finishing at number 1. He's definitely not going to go unbeaten, but I think, given the course of the season, how long it is, I can see him finishing.
It's going to be tough. I'd love to see Diego get there because I love when he plays well. I just love watching him play. I think it's just a beautiful game. But just mentally, how hard it is to get up every time and beat Asal has got to be so tough on him. Who do you reckon? You got to chuck $1 down. Where are you going?
I'm going for the. I'm going out on a real limb here. I'm hoping. Would like to see him. Joel Macon. I'd like to see him.
Big call, son. Big call.
It's a big call, and
it's a big $1 call.
It's a dollar call. I've got that for you, buddy. Don't you worry. He's now in the top 4. He could get some easy draws. Sometimes he gets some ugly draws where he could play Mo. He could play anybody out before playing in the semi-final. Where who knows, or. You can't really sort of say Asal's going to drop off too quickly, but he's got to do the same that he did last year. And he's strong, he's keen, he's got what it takes, and he's been there and he wants to stay there.
Yeah.
So I'm going out on a limb, and just the effort that he's done in the training and getting back in the top 4. He's got to get some better draws but when saying that, what's a good draw compared to the others that are out there? You got to go out there and play your game and your best every single time you walk on the squash court, whether it's in the first round, second round, whatever round it may be. He's one that I'd love to get to see there, but whether he does it after this season, I'll have an extra $1 or I'll be sending Pilley a dog.
No, I like that. That's a good call. And then what about the guys on this screen here? Like, there's a few names there. We've obviously, I think Dimmy's played a couple of really, really strong matches recently and is looking tough. Gregoire and Baptiste and even Marzin all look like nightmares. And then you got these couple of young guys down the bottom. The first one I wanted to ask about, Billy, did you play Mohamed Abu Elgar? He looks like just so tough to read. Has he got to come back in him to get back in that top kind of 10? He was number 8, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. We played once, and we hadn't played for a while, and I'd seen him play a bunch, practicing matches. I absolutely love the way he plays the game. He's such a fair player as well. So, I love watching him play. I played him once, and I got chopped 3 love. Was my favourite memory.
Sorry to bring that up.
Yeah, cheers. But he can, I think he can, when he gets back to his best, like you said, he got top 8, at least top 8. And when he was playing well, we were talking about him being in the top 5 in the world. So, he's had a bad run with injuries, form, whatever, but I can definitely see him, getting back to that form. He's going to have to put some hard work in to get back, but it would not surprise me in the least if he did get back up to that form that we've seen him in the past.
Yeah.
All right. What about the other blokes here, Whitey? Who, obviously young Jonah's looking pretty strong. There's a couple of really interesting matchups coming up. Where do you see things here, mate?
Well, no. The only time I've seen Algar is when he comes into Philly for that league that we've got. But he's been there. I'm sure he's got the grit to get back. I think he's going to be in the top 20 if he gets things sorted out. He's got the game strategy. He knows what he's doing. I'd like to see him play a little bit more of a basic English style before trying to go short too often, too soon.
Yeah.
And then Jonah Bryant, like he's another, like he reminds you of Zakaria. It's like he just knows the game. He's so keen. He's a strong player. He's moving up the ranks. I think we can see him in the top 20 pretty soon.
Mate, his line hitting is beautiful, right? Like he really hits a good ball, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hits a solid ball, knows what he's doing, doesn't do anything too crazy, and then if there's a shot that he can put away, he'll actually go for it. But he waits for the correct time, but he doesn't open the court up, too much. He may do when he plays a few of the top players, just the inexperience and being so young and new to the circuit. He seems to have it all in place. He's got to have a couple of good tournaments, and you just never know what can happen out there. He's got nothing to lose against a lot of the top guys, and as we said, there's a lot of aged players out there, and he's a young up and coming kid who wants to do his best, and you just never know. So it'll be good to see him up there, that is for sure.
Yeah, I haven't watched a replay yet, but he I think last night played Joel at the British Nationals, and it looked like a real tough match. So that'll be interesting. Pilley, are there any other guys there that you think are going to make a bit of a run and start challenging for that kind of top 20 positions?
Yeah, I think Curtis Malik. Like I sort of penciled him in about a season ago.
Mm-hmm.
To make some moves up the rankings. I just like what I saw. I think he played at the Europeans. It would have been about a year ago, I think, representing England. He put in some really strong showings. I really like what I saw there. Like very mature game, played within himself, knew his limits. I like what I saw. I can see him breaking into the top 20 if he gets his game right and sort of puts it all together for a long period of time. Yeah, there's some guys in there, like even outside the top 50. I wouldn't be surprised to see some new faces in that top 30 bracket.
Brilliant. Look, the one guy I'm going to throw out there too that I reckon has put in a massive summer, been at altitude, working his butt off, is young Lionel Cardenas. I think he's going to come in and just be a real pain in everyone's butt and start knocking some guys off. But look, let's move on because we got the girls here. There's some really, really interesting matchups with the girls. Obviously, the top two girls there have really dominated the scene for a long time. Hania's causing both of them a lot of trouble. But Whitey, where do you think Orphy finishes the season? She's looking really, really dangerous, eh?
That's another out on the limb. You could say top 3.
Wow.
Like she is just an amazing player at a young age. Coming off a World Junior win, and it's just like she's got nothing to lose, but she just goes out there and plays the game. She, for being so young, she's 5 in the world. She's got nothing to lose. She just goes out there and plays the game. Like there's it doesn't matter who steps on court with her. She just goes out there, and it doesn't matter if it's Nora or Hania. It doesn't matter who she plays. She just goes out there without a worry in the world and just goes about her job.
Yeah.
That in itself is going to take you. That in itself is going to, take her a long way. And well, she's already gone a long way.
Well, she's got a similar game to Go. She reminds me of Go. The way she plays, just absolutely crushes the ball. No fear at such a young age. Like I agree. Like I think the top 4. I think that's going to be hard for her to break into. Like if you look at those top 4 very established players, she's knocking on the door. I'm not sure she'll break through this season. Watanabe, I like Watanabe sitting at number 6. Like That's high. Number 6, like that's pretty impressive. I was expecting top 10, but like she's sitting number 6 in the world. Like I've been really impressed with Watanabe.
Couldn't be a nicer girl either, right? Like just the friendliest, lovely girl on the planet. But the other one I watched, and you would have seen a bit of Whitey in college, is young Siva has had quite the journey. Mate, she's got some upsets in her, eh? What do you reckon?
Yeah, she has. Like, obviously she's been up and down since graduating from Cornell, but it's just she's got what it takes, and she plays the way she wants to play. She is not scared of anyone who walks on the court with her. She's got some good shots. She moves the ball around. She's got some pace, and she's gritty. So she's had some good results, and I think as the season progresses, and I think she's another one. She's not going to go anywhere, and I think she's going to slowly keep moving up. So it's a good top 10. It's a good top 15 of for the women's program. You really can't call it. Who's going to be. You'd like to see people go back to the top 20 or move in the top 4, but as Pilley said, that top 4 that's a strong top 4. And that there are some very, very seriously talented women in this screen that could be top 4 also. It's a great strength for the women's program at the moment.
Yeah, and look, Amanda's proven that she can play at that level as well, right? Like she's super strong. Livia's playing some very clean squash, and both the Gillis girls are quite strong as well. You would have seen a bit of those guys when you're in Europe, Pilley.
Yeah. No, the Gillis girls, they're strong, and it's interesting to see that Naylor was, I think she reached number 3 or maybe 4 in the world, hitting some really good form. She's dropped down a little bit since then, and Tina's actually overtaken her, sitting at number 7. So that's been quite interesting to see that play out. But I'm sure the sibling rivalry, I'm sure Nelly's going to be training hard to try and overtake a younger sister.
Yeah, it's going to be good to see, mate. Well, look, with this London Squash Classic coming up, we've got a few interesting matchups there. We'll go to the top half of the draw there first, and I think the way that looks there with Liv and Nelle that are likely to reach the quarterfinal. Do you guys see anything different happening there, or is that going to play out to seeds? You reckon?
For me, I think it's going to play out to the seeds. Can't really see any upsets.
Yeah,
in the top half.
Okay.
All right. And then what about here? This I think there's an interesting one here. Is Tesney, who's tough as they come. What do you reckon there? Has she got it in her to take an upset in?
Yeah, well, obviously she's been there. She's got married, and she's got a different lifestyle at the moment, as opposed to just being on the circuit full time. But you can't take anything away from her. She reads the game very well. She's got a lovely hold on her. It's just a matter of if she can put it on. She completes on the day. It's like she can be a nightmare for all of the girls, right? She, not to say that she's not that fit, but some of the top girls will outmaneuver her, and the fitness won't be there. But you can't really ride her off in the first couple of rounds, to be honest.
I think especially playing in the UK as well. Like she's going to have family and friends come watch her there in London. So I can see Tesney putting on a pretty good showing there. Maybe an outside chance of an upset there in the round 2. That's where I can see a potential banana skin there.
Skin, I like it. And look, in the bottom half, we got I think some interesting matchups there with Tomato, who's had a couple of good wins. But I think what do you guys reckon if Siva and Tinny play each other in the quarters? Who's winning that? Cameron, who are you picking there?
I'll tell you what, that's a good match.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. That's a good match.
That's a great match in the quarters.
Get off the fence. Have a crack.
This is for another $1, because I think we're
$1.
I think we're going to go the opposite.
Oof, hold the phone.
I'm going to hold you to it too. So what do you got?
I'm going to go with Tina. Tina, yeah.
Really?
All right.
I think she's going to come through. Right. Good off season. She's going to come through.
What about you, Whitey? Who you got?
I'm going for the $1. I've got Siva.
I like it.
I think she's gonna have too much in the bag for Tina.
All right, I like it. And then down the other side here, a player I don't know that 118 rank really reflects how strong she is. Sabrina there,
Yeah.
has she, I mean, we've seen her pull some crazy upsets. How's she going to go against Amina if she gets through Holly?
Yeah, I think. Well, she's coming off a wrist injury. I think she broke her wrist,
Oh
so
wow.
she was off the court for a little bit. But I know she's back. But she's a lovely mover of the ball. She's a lovely mover all around the court. So she knows what she's doing. It's just a matter of if she's back to full strength from that little bit of time off with her wrist. I can't, she's got to get through Holly Norton before that. But it, yeah,
Yeah, I think
I
that.
can't see her I can't see her getting past Amina.
Yeah, Sabrina. I think Sabrina. If she's, I mean, what do you know, like, with Sabrina down there training in Philly? If she's back to full health and feeling good, and she's put some training in the bank over the summer, then she's a good chance of, I guess, knocking off Holly in that first round.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a big one. That first one, Holly's sitting at 31 in the world, so she's been around. She's played a lot of years on tours, so she knows how to get through those first rounds as well.
Who are you going for $1?
Good call, because I think Holly's going to be real strong there.
I think I'm going to go with Holly there. Yeah, I think she's going to get through that.
Why do you have to take the other side of that bet?
Yeah. Damn, I didn't realize we'd already started the gambling.
Well, you'll be right, mate. You're making the big bucks. And
I got Sabrina. I got Sabrina. Are you writing these down, Jeff?
Yeah, I've got them, mate. It's all recorded.
I've got all up here, mate. All up here, son.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. I'm going to make you go because I think in the men's we've got a couple of really big matchups here.
Yeah, we do. I like that.
Mate, look at this top quarter. I mean, Yusuf Diego matchup in the quarter looks really juicy.
Yeah,
Does
I like that matchup.
Does Perry have a chance to hang with old Lobbin? What do you reckon, Pill?
I think he does. Yeah,
Really?
I think he does. I think he's. I mean, I don't know if he will knock him off, but I think he's got to. I think he's going to be.
Careful
I think
using that slang.
He's going to give it a shake. He's going to give it a shake.
Yeah, all right. Fair. Hey, look at this next one. I think the first round matchup here of the tournament is young Jonah and Marsden. What's going to go on there? How's this go down?
Well, I've got the bet first. I'm going for $1, and I've got Jonah. In England, yeah, I'm going for the big upset there. He's going to love playing in the UK. Mazen is, he's only going to have to get one call that doesn't go his way, and he's going to think the world's ending. But it's I've got to go with Jonah for this one to play Moe El Shabaghi in the round.
Oh, and then what happens there? Because Mo pulled out of the British Nationals. Does Jonah then go through to take on Joel again in the quarters?
What is Mo not playing this tournament?
Mo's in. He's currently in the London Open, but he withdrew from the British Nationals yesterday and didn't play. So, look, let's call it a cloud, shall we? A cloud over Mo. But even if Mo is healthy, Jonah's going to come out really coming like he's going to really stick it to him, I reckon. What do you think?
Well, he's definitely going to stick it to him, and Mo's going to stick it to him as well with the experience that he's got. And yeah, that will be
everyone's just going to stick it to each other.
That would be a very interesting matchup as well. And if Jonah does get through that first round, I've got him going to the quarters. Sorry, Mo, love you, buddy.
Wow. Okay, that's
I'm not going with that. Nah. I think
you just want to bet against me, mate.
Well, a little dollar on the line. I think if Jonah gets through that first one, which is the big if, Mazen on his day is unbelievable.
Yeah. That's the key on his day.
I think exactly. If Mazen, again, I used to love it after every off season on tour. You're probably the same way. It was always interesting to come back and see what changes players had made to their game. Were they looking fit, in shape? Were they looking like they just enjoyed 2 months on the beach somewhere?
True.
So I think I used to love watching that first tournament of the season and just gauge, so who's looking sharp here, who's absolutely raring to go, and who's kind of just, dawdled through the summer, ticked over, and then hoping to play well in that first tournament.
Yeah. Those players are working it out during the first tournament of what they need to do.
Yeah, they're like, oh, should have trained. But I think if Jonah gets through, and let's say Shabagi's not injured and he's feeling good, I can't see
Yeah,
Mo losing to Jonah. I think he's gonna
yeah.
put his
Is
foot,
there
put his
is
foot
Jim?
down.
I don't even know this, but even though we got the draw, is there a day break after round 1 to round 2?
So the times on the draw there are Australian local times, fresh out of the Gold Coast. So it looks like September 3rd, it's
Yeah,
Marsden versus Jonah, and then September 4th, it looks like about 26 hours later.
did that. Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
No,
So it is.
so
So it's the next day, but it's one of
it's the
those things,
next,
right? You know
yeah,
what
next day.
what really is wrong with Shabagi? Like Shabagi's going to want to win a national title, that is for sure. And he only
Mm.
really pulls out of something if he knows he can't give it 100%.
Mm.
So whether he's just got something niggling and that extra 7-10 days rest where he can go to the physios, he can get treatment, he can do a little bit of extra this and that. It's you can never really write him off, but as you said, Jeff, there's that hovering cloud, that the uncertainty of what's going on with him.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to pick. I agree. Miguel's there for another 15 years at least.
But
Evergreen.
he's
Mate,
going to be turning 55 soon, isn't he?
he's going to play the World Masters against you, Whitey. You're going to have to play against him in Perth.
Oh, that'd be a ripper. I tell you what, I'd be falling over. I'd be falling over so tired, and he'd be fucking jumping over me, going to get the next ball.
Mate, Miggy's the man. Absolutely love that guy.
If there's one guy that I still love to watch on the circuit, it's got to be Miggy.
Yeah,
Always.
love him. He's a good dude. So there's a couple of good matchups here. Marwan. Can I just do a shout out to Marwan as well, boys? He came down to the Gold Coast after the Australian Open and hung out and hit with guys. And honestly, could not be. I've never met him in person. He's just the loveliest bloke off the court, and just I've only seen him play. What a dude! So big shout out to Marwan for the effort he put in coming down to encourage the locals on the Goldie. Mate, one guy we didn't talk about here, Yao. What do you reckon, White? He looked like a real young and up and comer.
Yeah. He's. Yeah, well, as you said, he's young and up and coming. You can't really, we forgot to talk about him, but he's another one of those guys who's in the top 16 now. That it's, he's obviously very quick. He's very, very strong. He's so strong. Whether he's mentally strong enough to last the long, grueling 5-setters, 4-setters, and match up the next day, but he's a nice player to watch. Hopefully, he's got the grit to go out there and give it his 100%, which I'm sure he wants to every single matchup. But it would be a good matchup to see, how he takes some of those old dogs that have been there for a while, and if he plays Marwan in the quarters, he's going to be up for a dogfight.
Yeah, I think that's a juicy matchup.
You
That's
like that
juicy. I like that matchup.
Yeah.
I need $1 down though, Pilley. $1. Your old buddy Abdullah and Curtis. Where you going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Which Abdullah turns up? That's the question.
That's why it's interesting. I mean, it's the funny one because he's at Riot.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. All right. Come on, Abdullah. Abdullah, bring it home for me.
All right.
Abdullah?
Why do you got Curtis for that one?
I thought he said Curtis was the next up and coming, and now you just dogged him, and he's going to
Yeah, but Abdullah's my boy,
How's he going to get into? Abdullah's your boy. Why is that?
Mate, has he been training over the summer, or has he been playing golf? What's going on?
He can't play golf.
Bit of both.
I tell you what, that matchup, Abelgar and Steinman.
That's a good matchup. I like that.
That's a tough first round match.
Yeah.
Abelgar's got what it takes. Steinman, mate, I've never seen somebody so quick around the squash court.
Rapid.
He's just unbelievable. He's got to learn to do, get a little bit more control with the ball. Like his movement and how quickly he can cover the court, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah. His physicality is unbelievable. I mean, I'm assuming over the summer, like the physical side of his game is just outrageous. So I'm assuming over the summer, he must have spent so many hours on court just honing his skills. I mean, basically those the basic shots, right? Your drives, your crosses, your volley drops, your working boast. You know, he must. I'd like to think he was doing a couple of hours a day of just honing those skills.
I'm sure he would have been.
You put those together with his physicality, he's going to be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, I've got Steinman for that matchup.
Nah, Abelgar for me.
All right, well that's another $1.
It's another $1 for me. Cheers.
So Whitey, we've got Elias, Macon, Ibrahim, Mo. We got Cole. We got Solomon. We got we got Marwan. Boys, make a pick. Who wins the tournament? Give me one name, $1. Let's go, Whitey.
Macon.
Ooh, big call. Home territory. Pilley.
Home territory. That may get him over the line against Diego. Actually.
Yeah, I feel that if it goes that way and they play each other in the semis, he's going to have the home crowd. They love him. He's so cool, calm, collected on the squash court. Yes, I think once if he starts to lose his cool and he starts to let the crowd get in his head, he's going to get him in his own head, and then you just never know. Taking in consideration the home crowd, and it's you can only love playing in front of your home crowd, right?
All right, Pilley, who you got?
I think if Diego and Maker are on opposite sides of the draw, I'd go Diego, but I'm going to say Cole.
Yeah.
Ooh, big Cole, fresh in from New Zealand, Paul Cole coming in.
The choice grew.
So you reckon Diego and Macon are going to tear strips off each other, and Cole swoops in and cleans up the final?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, Paul's getting through his early rounds quick. He's not wasting too much time and energy there. He's getting on, getting off.
That's one good thing I love about Cole is he gets on there and he just does the business.
Yeah.
He gets on and off as quick as he can, which can only save you an extra 20 minutes, 30 minutes as the tournament goes along. Every single round. Which he doesn't need it. He's one of the fittest guys out there anyway. But
yeah.
All right, that's a good call. So Pilley's going Paul Cole. Whitey has got Joel Macon. I'm going to chuck my dollar in the ring for old Diego because I reckon he's spent a bit of time in the off season going at it, which is really, really good. So boys, I really appreciate you coming on and running through those predictions. Make sure you get in there because you guys will see on the leaderboard. You'll see Pilley and Whitey will have their squash brackets predictions in there, so you can go up against them, see where they end up. I'll have mine in there. I'm not going to be eligible for the win. I don't know if I should make you two eligible, but anyway, you both got some good predictions there. I really appreciate it. And
women's draw, buddy.
Sorry,
women's
bud.
Winner.
The women's winner. Yeah, we didn't pick that. Let's go back real quick to the women's draw. Oh, I think it's a real tough one to pick. We got Orphy, Tine, Siva, Gina. We didn't talk about Gina. She's tough. Satomi, Feruz, Nele.
I've got a Weaver Orphy final.
And then who takes
it? I've got Weaver for the win, no doubt in my mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Orphy for you, Whitey?
Well, who's going to win if we both go for Weaver? He's put me another all right. I've got the young duck.
There we go.
I'm going to pull the upset. I see Siva coming through, taking the whole thing. Jeff's dollar in.
Siva?
Yeah. Huge call.
The big backhand wind up. She's going to come in and take out some people.
Nothing like a big backhand wind up.
I love it. It reminds me of you, Whitey. I want to see a few back wall nicks off the drive for the W. All right, boys. Well, thanks again. Appreciate your time. Super excited to see how the season goes in. Get those picks in, and let's get after it. Cheers, boys.
Right, Jeff. Thanks, buddy. Good
Cheers, boys.